Hi friends, I'm Ali and a warm welcome to Face Yoga Master Beauty Over 40. Now in today's video I thought I would share with you how I use my Gua Sha tool here to do some amazing lymphatic drainage to help remove toxins and waste within the lymph around the facial and the neck area, and also helping with glowing skin in the process. Now first things first, you need your tool and you want to make sure that it's already clean before, so it's been previously washed in some soapy water, light soapy water, and then with a little final rinse with cool water. It's got a nice clean Gua Sha tool, and also importantly nice clean skin. Now if you like, you can apply a little bit of facial oil. You don't have to. I like to, because I always feel like you're kind of double bubbling in a way by adding a facial oil, or even if you're using a favourite face cream or serum, whatever you do apply to your face and your neck area is going to penetrate in even better and deeper as well. Right, so what we're going to do first, we're going to use this part of the tool and let's just get the lymphatics going. So where the collarbone is, just underneath, we have plenty of lymph nodes. Helps if I didn't wear a necklace. So just down by the collarbone here, you just gently want to use the tool. I'll just move along a bit here so you can see, and just very gently and lightly move it from under the collarbone and from the center of the collarbone towards the armpit. And let's just do this a few times. And then on the other side again, from the collarbone, placing the tool nice and flat for more surface area, and just very lightly glide it along the collarbone here. And then where the ear is, just behind the ear, we're going to take this part of the tool just to get the lymphatics going, and it really fits in quite nicely here, and just gently glide down. Now what we're doing here, again, we're really helping, just firing up the lymphatic system, and this is the SEM muscle, which is literally from the ear all the way down to the collarbone. So you really want to, again, just really give this a nice light touch here. And you may find you want to kind of like start swallowing. You can literally feel things moving as you're working along. And then let's start on the neck area and then work our way up. So again, with the longer parts here now, I'm placing my hand as an anchor, starting from the middle, fairly flat, and again, nice and light all the way up towards the jawline. When you get to the jawline, you can give it a little wiggle as well, again, to fire up the lymphatic system here. We have plenty of lymph nodes under the jawline as well. And by placing a hand, you're also helping with the neck here, particularly if you have older skin and more of a crepey neck. You don't want to be dragging or pulling. And just working our way all the way along towards the ears. And then on the other side, again, nice light touch. Also helping out, smoothing out any of those fine lines and wrinkles in the process as well. And then with this part here, the M part, almost like a love heart shape if you like, I'm just again placing hand as an anchor, starting from under the chin. I just gently glide under the chin towards the ears. Now if you don't have a Gua Sha tool, you can do these massage exercises using your fingers, and if you are interested in buying a Gua Sha tool, I do have a link in my description box down below, and also my Spotify store. And again, just very gently gliding along here. So let's now work on the top part of the jawline and the lower part of the face. So now I'm using this part, again placing hand as an anchor, just gently glide all the way along towards the ears. And I always like to work in a upwards, slightly upwards motion. And then just slowly work along the rest of the face, the lower part, until we get to the cheekbone, and then just cup it under the cheekbone towards the ears. And then on the other side. And again, you don't want to be dragging or pulling at the skin, so nice and light along the jawline, and then slowly working outwards motion, lower part of the face. And then again, when it comes to the cheek area, I like to slightly cup it under the cheekbone towards the ears. And then with the parts here, we're now taking it from the chin, working all the way along to under the cheekbone. It depends which way angle I'm trying to show you here, so just moving it along. And then with this part here, starting from the lips, working across. Smoothing everything out. And then on the other side here, Heather. So then working on the other side here, again, we're just going to come along upwards motion as far as we can to the cheekbone. Nice and light. And then smoothing across again, lower part of the face towards the ears. And then we're going to use this top part here again, and then placing hand again as an anchor and working the mid parts here along the cheekbone. And again, very light. I'm also moving toxins and waste within the lymph, which is very close to the surface of the skin, so you don't need to be heavy-handed at all. Helping with any puffiness under the eyes here and those potential eye bags. So now again, using this part here, which fits in quite nicely between the eyes, just very gently glide in an upwards motion. Now we don't have much fat padding here, so you want to be very, very light, otherwise you may mark the skin. And just head towards the hairline, and then you can take parts here and just move across slightly more, again placing fingers under the eyebrow here. And on the other side, again, nice and light. And if you like, you can take a couple of deep belly breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. It really does help with blood flow and oxygen to the neck and the head area. And then taking this part again, placing our hand and placing it into the middle of the forehead, and just gently glide along the forehead towards the temples. This will also help calm down the nervous system. We hold quite a lot of tension in our head and our neck, particularly our forehead and between the eyes. If we're scrunching and we're quite tense, this will really soften everything. And then using this part of the tool here again, just gently glide down the side of the face, down the front of the ear where we have plenty of lymph nodes. And then behind the ear, again where we have plenty of lymph nodes. And then with the long part here, behind the ear and gliding down that big SEM muscle down to the collarbone. And then again on the other side, from the temple here, gliding down side of the face, down the front of the ear and behind the ear. Now, I have just started a community for like-minded people really passionate about skincare, natural skincare. So if you want to check that out and join, so we're in a really good space for like-minded people, which is always quite a fun thing to do. And actually, as I say, be part of a community of wellness and natural facial skincare, and actually using things like the Gua Sha. And I will be placing extra videos on there and doing some lives as well. So I'm just going to take the last part here and then just coming from behind the ear and at the bottom, and again just gliding down that big SCM muscle down to the collarbone. Again, I always feel like you've messed your hair up, but also you always want to kind of like swallow at the end of it. So once we finish that, from the chin all the way down, and I always finish with this, regardless if I'm doing face yoga, facial massage, really important to reduce and release the toxins we've been moving around the facial area. So from the chin all the way down, where our collarbone is, just above we have some indentations. And if you can just give those a few gentle presses. So once we've done that, again, taking our Gua Sha tool here, you want to again rinse it in some warm soapy water, a very light wash, and then a final rinse with some cold running water. So it's then ready for kind of like next use. So I will place another video here. If you'd like to join me there, that would be great. Please consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed, and a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithm. And again, please check out my community. And I really look forward to seeing you in the next video. Okay, bye.